G'day guys, how are you going? Today's a bit of a spur of the moment kind of video. You can see today I'm driving the VK101P, um, and this is of course the Tier 8 super heavy tank. In German line, I'm grinding towards the mouse. Well, I say I'm grinding, but I'm kind of grinding. This is a video I really wanted to. Well, this is the point I want to talk about. The fact is that I think that World of Tanks at the moment really does not have any sort of proper direction. I don't know where World of Tanks is going, and to me, that's it's kind of sad because we're hearing all these plans. Shout out to the dailybounce.net, I think it is, or dailybounce.com. I can't really remember. Run by Harkonnen. He's a really nice guy. I met him when I was over in Belarus, but this game in general, I really feel just does not have much direction. I know that World of Tanks is going to be releasing a lot of new content in 2018, and this is why I shouted him out because I read one of his things where he went to, or anyway, at Wargaming Fest, they announced all these different things that are happening in 2018. For example, an Italian line I think is planned. We're getting more customization, things like that, and all that is nice. But I'm worried that World of Tanks really is just not progressing, and is just not a game that many people are excited to play. And this is something that I've kind of been struggling with recently, and that's playing this game. I don't like the progression of it anymore. I don't play this game anymore as a way to grind through tanks, and I don't enjoy grinding through tanks. I think that there's too many issues at the moment, too many tanks that are just blatantly overpowered, that make this game really bad. There's too many tier 8 premiums that I just wouldn't ever want to face in a tier 7 tier 6 tank, and that you would have to in generally speaking. For example, I would hate to play the IS at the moment. I'd hate to have to grind through that tank and try and play it. It would be impossible. Imagine going up. Oh, well, imagine a lot of you guys, I'm sure, do it. But going up against tanks like the Scorpion or the STR VS1, you don't stand a chance. And those are only a tier higher than you, but substantially better. And that's something that I just don't want to have to deal with. And it's the same across every tier. Maybe tier 9 is like a pretty fun, tier to playing, but I've just found myself recently, and I really hate to admit it because it genuinely is embarrassing, but I've just been spending money on the game to progress. I don't play tanks anymore, and that's just like pretty much what I want to talk about. I want to get your guys' opinion as well. What do you think about the direction of World of Tanks in 2018? I guess especially, like, where do you see World of Tanks going? Because I don't know where I see World of Tanks going. And it's kind of scary. I love World of Tanks, don't get me wrong. I love playing this game. I still find it really fun, but I only really, if you look at my stats, I only really ever play tier 8 premium tanks, and that's because they're just fun tanks to play, in my opinion. They're a lot more fun than, playing in other tanks, and I got to admit, I like playing it often because they are just solely overpowered. A lot of my tanks at tier 8 are just that good that they can compete with tier 8 or tier 9, tier 10 tanks, which in general they really shouldn't be able to compete with. I mean, I don't know what much else I can talk about, but I guess that is really just what I talk about. Like, I feel like I've just lost all the fun that this game ever used to have for me. I've just lost, and to me that's quite depressing. In a large sense, that is very, very depressing, because this game should be fun, and it was fun, and I used to love progressing. I remember, and I know this is like, oh, I remember like old nostalgia days, but I remember playing this tank, or playing not this tank, but I remember my first tank that I ever got to tier 10 was the Foch. The first tier 6, tier 7 I ever had was the TD line, the French TD line. That was back in like 2012. I loved that. I loved progressing through it. I was researching all the tanks, and maybe this is just something because of how long I've been playing the game for, that I just find progressing boring. But I genuinely think it's a bigger issue than that. I think that right now, when you play World of Tanks, you're going up against tanks that I never had to deal with back in 2012. I never had to deal with a Defender or even a Patriot or a Scorpion or these other tanks that are being sold, that are just really too good for their tier. They are just way too good for their tier. And that's quite sad, you know. It's actually really sad. And I feel bad for new players as well, because I also think, how does anyone start playing this game from new? Like, who in their right mind would start playing this game over another game at the moment? It's just it's just too hard. Think about tier 2. I have a Panzer 2J. I have a Panzer 2J, which is just stupidly overpowered. I know some people will be like, "Oh well, it's gun shit," but like in the right hands, like, you know, mine, I know how this tank. I know how that tank works, and how you can just easily just, you know, ruin the lives of everyone else playing. And it makes me feel bad. Like I spent stupid amounts of money. How much did I spend on that? I spent like $100 something on that tank. $100 something I spent on that tank, and I'm able just to make people feel bad. I'm able to literally ruin the emotions of some people. By the way, guys, this is my first ever game playing in this tank. Just keep that in mind. I've done it almost over 5,000 damage. But this is another thing. We never had the VK 101p. Never had the VK 101p in the past. Who in their right mind would want to go up again, IS, any sort of tier 7 tank, up against one of these tanks? You can barely penetrate it from the front. Like who? But yeah, you know, there was no direction for this video, guys, so I'm sorry if you wanted some sort of direction. I've just been playing tanks in general, and thinking about progressing through into the mouse line, and I don't want to, and that's sad, and I'm worried that, you know, World of Tanks has for a while now, you know, it's hard. I get it. You know, they've got a lot of employees. They've got like over 5,000 or 6,000 employees, like a lot of employees. They have to pay them all. And so they've got to have to keep pulling out premium content. You've got to keep appealing to people. I get it. But I'm just worried that right now that the game is kind of turning to shit. Like, maybe I am the only one thinking like, this is just so horrible to play. Like, play these tanks at the moment. Maybe I am like the only one thinking that. But I don't think so. I think that, you know, a lot of you guys are going to be feeling the same way that I am. That, you know, this game's just a disappointment to play at the moment. Because it is just a huge disappointment. Damn, I almost completed a mission as well, so I'm a bit upset that I didn't just aim in on that E25 and destroy him there. Oh well. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. So let's go find this E25. I really hope I can destroy him, but I don't think I will be able to. I think my team's going to cap out, hit their team. Otherwise, I can complete a mission. But yeah, my first game in this tank, the VK 101p. Very strong tank I've found so far. My first ever game in it. I haven't been concentrating too hard. Maybe that's why I played well. But yeah, wow. This tank is just I think just playing this game. I know I'm in a tier 8 game, so that's good. But I think this tank is very strong. It's definitely a lot stronger than the Mauerbrecher, which I still like. I still really like that tank. If you guys don't like it, that's your fault. That's on you. I like the tank. Oh god, this tank's just run away. We're all big, fat, slow, heavy tanks, except for that Hellcat, actually. That's a pretty fast tank. Yeah, there's a lot of things coming out in 2018 for all the tanks, but I don't think any of them is enough to really make me want to grind through the game. But maybe a lot of you guys actually enjoy grinding through the game. I find it painful, like, you know, playing the just grinding through any tank that's stock is just so horrific, especially going up against those tanks like as I said, the Defender, the Object 252U, the Patriot, things like that. It's just so frustrating. But anyway, guys, let's have a look at the post-game stats, see how I did. Rant over. Oh shit, I got a mastery badge. That's really interesting. So I got a mastery badge, ace tanker, demolition expert, a fire for effect, a fighter medal, a battle buddy, a shell proof, a duelist, a hand of God, a bruiser medal, a steel wall, and a high caliber. So I'm pretty happy with that result. Literally, guys, that was my first ever game in this tank, and that was pretty good. Got to admit, I did 4,696 damage. I blocked 2,400 damage. I blocked. I didn't do anything. I just faced my armor to the enemy and they didn't go through. So that's pretty special. I did 862 assistance damage. Made a profit of 66,552 and did 1,381 base experience. Fired 17 shots and only 13 of them actually penetrated, but who cares? I guess I still got the mastery badge. But anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Again, please tell me what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you next time.